What's going on, everybody? Dylan here with Espresso Outlet, and today we are going to be taking a look at the DF83V, and this is new to the market. There's been plenty of videos out already, but I do want to make a video with the new setup and just to kind of get a feel for the layout that we have here. So we're going to go ahead and brew some pour over coffee with the Stagg X along with the DF83V. Now, one thing to note, the burrs that are in the DF83V are the DLC espresso burrs. You could also get the DLC brew burrs, which I have here. So here are the brew burrs that you can purchase. I have not yet used these, so that is going to be for another video, but we are going to be using the DLC espresso burrs for our drip coffee today. We're going to go to 300 RPM. As low as we can possibly get. We're also going to show you the before and after. So before I get going, here is the inside of the cup. I also have the magnetic here, and this is also all cleared out as well. So the chute, just so we can see how much actually gets caught in there when we do our pour over today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Grind setting, I have it set at 27. Just depends on the brew that you choose. Today we are going to be brewing a favorite of mine. Shout out to my cousin Josh for giving me this for a Christmas gift. This is called Klatch Coffee. It's got tasting notes of orange blossom, cinnamon, and brown sugar. It's 170 grams. It's a medium to light roast Panama. And on the back it says, the Pearl Reserve is a Klatch Coffee's premium single origin coffee sourced from the finest estates and roasted to perfection. Offering a sensory journey and luxury, each coffee from our Pearl Reserve is a rare gem, showcasing unique and coveted varietals such as geishas and other exquisite selections. We are committed to delivering exceptional quality and taste, crafting every bag of coffee with care and precision to ensure that each sip is a moment of pure bliss. Join us in the savory and the extraordinary and discover the pinnacle of coffee perfection with our Pearl Reserve. This was roasted 12-19. I let this sit for a week and then I froze it, and it's been absolutely amazing. So this is the coffee we're going to be brewing today. So the recipe that we're going to be doing, we're going to be aiming for a 1:16 ratio. 15 grams in, we're going to get about 240 out. So we want that final brew, that drawdown time, to be about 3 to 3.5 minutes worth. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The kettle that I'm going to be using is back here. It's already preheated at 194 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start by weighing out our coffee. I have it in a bag here with my little clip. Like I said, we're going to do about 15 grams. I've been super impressed with this coffee. This coffee is definitely not for everybody. It is a very expensive coffee, but it does give you the really nice elegance that you would expect from a natural geisha from Panama. We're going to go ahead and get started. 15 grams in. We're going to go ahead and dump it in here. So it's on 300 RPM. And we're going to get the sound test. I got my microphone right here. I'll come as close as possible and go. Alright, so it just finished. So one thing I would note is you can bellows, which you can see there's still some beans in there. And one thing that I do like to do is, some people may not like it because it does create more fines. For me, I'm just going to turn it all the way up to a higher RPM. I'm just going to put it to 1600 RPM. It's just going to allow the rest of that coffee to be released, kind of bellows it out a little bit. Now, if you're particular and you care about the granule sizes of the grind size, then you can change cups and do it afterward just to get the retention out. But I do like to do that. Sorry, I got hiccups. Okay, so now that we are done, I'll kind of show you the grind consistency here, if you can see it. I don't know if it can zoom in enough, but overall, it smells absolutely delightful. I've really enjoyed it. So one thing I do want to know about the DF83V is on the side here we have a toggle switch. So this toggle switch actually turns the unit completely on and completely off. So that way the LED display on the, or the LCD display on the screen over here on the RPM, it shuts all the way off so it doesn't stay on all the time. You can turn that off. So I just switched it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So about 4 seconds later, then the whole unit will turn off, which makes this button not workable. Switch that toggle switch on, it's ready to go, and we can grind. So I'll just go ahead and grind. You can see on here, it is on, now it's off. So that's kind of how the DF83V works. Like I said, we're using grind setting 27. So one thing I'm going to do, the nice thing about the Stagg X, it is a flat bottom dripper, which I personally enjoy. I can actually take this funnel out. So this actually acts as like a catch cup, so that's something that I love. So you can just set this on the top here. One thing that I like to do is I like to preheat everything. So I get my filter wet, kind of preheat it, and then I will also actually pour some hot water into this carafe. It doesn't have to be extensive. I just like to preheat everything so that way it's nice and warm for when we get our brew. So now that it's completely drawn down, I'll pour the rest of this water in this catch cup here. And then I'll set that off to the side. You just want to make sure you don't knock that over. Now we can get our carafe. And then one thing I like to do is actually flatten this filter. They actually make something that goes in and flattens it, just so a lot of coffee doesn't get stuck in the crevices. Just personal preference for me, but then you're going to get something that looks like that. So now we're going to go ahead and pour our coffee in. And then here's what that catch cup looks like for the chaff and the static. And then one thing I like to do is just get it as flat as possible. You can do a WDT tool, which I will actually do, just to kind of make it as flat and as smooth as possible of a bed. The way that this is going to work, we're going to do 4 different pours, and each pour is going to be 60 grams. So then it's going to equal to 240 grams, and we're looking for a drawdown time of 3 minutes to 3.5 minutes. Pour in the center, nice and slow. Doesn't have to be fast. Once we hit 60 grams, which is there, I like to give it a good stir. Really mix all that in there, get all those coffee grounds wet, get those saturated, and then we're going to let this draw down for about a 45-second blooming period. Alright, so now we're looking for 120 grams. There's 120. Smelling super good. I love the aroma of this coffee. Really shines on that orange blossom. Very low acidity, and it just tastes absolutely unbelievable. Paired with this DF83V, just can't be beat. So now we're going to go for 180. And don't be afraid to pour a little bit faster, because you really want to agitate that coffee as you're pouring it. At least for me, I figured that this has worked out best for this particular brew and with the Stagg X that I'm using today. So fast, this is going to be my fastest one, to 240. So we're about 2.5 minutes. We're looking, like I said, for a drawdown time of 3 to 3.5 minutes worth. There's not that much left on top, so it's going to be pretty good. If I were to do this one more time, I'd probably maybe go 1 step coarser, 2 steps coarser. So now you can just take this catch cup that you have the water in already and just set it over here to the side. So nice, easy, mess free. You don't have to preheat, but I just don't really like to shock coffee by putting it into a very cold glass. Glass of choice today are both Brew. I go ahead and just dump this into our Stagg right there, and here we go. So just kind of swirl it around a little bit. Smells super floral. So again, the notes we're looking for here are orange blossom, cinnamon, and brown sugar. I mean, if you want a delicate coffee, this is definitely one that you're gonna want to try. It's pricey. I think it's $110 for 170 grams, which is super expensive. It's not something that you would do every day. Obviously, paired with the right grinder, you're just gonna get really good tasting notes. And depending on how you brew it, like I said, I'd probably go a little bit coarser just to get just to let the drawdown time go a little bit quicker. This is the closer look at the DF83V. Variable speed. It's got a removable hopper here. So it's a bellows. So that's the silicone with a nice piece of wood. And then this actually comes apart, the hopper made out of nice aluminum. And it's got the anti-popcorn there. And it's got a rubber seal, so that way you can pop that back into place and it's not going to rattle or move on you inside. Very easy to take this apart. A little bit harder from this angle. And then it pulls straight out. So one thing, you don't want to lose this little tiny piece right in here. That little metal piece will come out, and you do want to make sure you don't lose that. So this whole part of the burr carrier does pop out, so it makes for easy cleaning. It just pops right back in, and here is the internal. So I can actually turn this on so you can see how this works inside the unit here. Here is the auger, feeds everything in. You can actually just set it in and it'll slide right in here. Then you're just going to go ahead and twist it all the way. And then I'm going to show you how to adjust the 0 point. So here is the dial. It's kind of hard to see because of the reflection on the video, but there is a little Allen key spot down here. And that's just going to allow you to adjust this arrow to where you can get your 0 point. I've had grinders where it is very hard to get that aligned just for the burr touch to get that 0 point. So this is the all new DF83V. My name is Dylan with Espresso Outlet. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I've had a great time brewing at home with all of you. Let me know in the comments also what you're brewing, and if you have this grinder or if you are thinking about getting this grinder, what are you most excited about? What questions do you have that we can answer? And as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Dylan with Espresso Outlet, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.